Hello everyone and welcome to the channel Shelly's Millions. In today's video, we're going to talk about your 1099-G and your unemployment taxes. I do want to remind everyone that you need to file your unemployment taxes. You need to send in that 1099-G if you receive the child care tax credits in advance. They're going to send you some paperwork. You need to submit that with your taxes as well. And if you used Covered California and you received your health insurance at a discount this year, you're also going to need those forms for your taxes. Um, I also want to talk about exclusion pay here in the state of California. That replaced something called COVID-19 supplemental sick pay. If you were exposed in your workplace or your workplace asked you to stay home due to exposure, then you would be eligible for something called exclusion pay that's mandated by Cal OSHA. And unfortunately, though, it's not eligible for healthcare workers um, because they're under a different kind of program. Basically, that's considered like a standard thing that they might be exposed, and so there's not extra pay if they are exposed and then excluded from the workplace. Jenny Silver and I are going to be streaming live together. We'll be in person um, this Wednesday at 9 p.m. So I will be sharing the link for that a little bit later. And lastly, for the intro, Housing is Key is still accepting applications. So if you think you're at risk of not being able to pay your rent, even if you're not behind yet, check out housingiskey.com. And if you need help with your Golden State stimulus, your taxes, your SDI claim, so that would be state disability insurance. I think that's what that stands for. I'm blanking for a second. Claimer can help with all that. Let me get my links in here. Andy has a question. Good morning, Andy. Andy says, what about if you got EDD 24,000? How much would I have to pay back? 10,000. So it's going to depend. It's really going to depend. Send in your documents. Andy, I know that you were looking for work the whole time. So that would lead me to believe that you were looking for work before the pandemic as well, right? Watch that video on how to fill out an affidavit. Send them the affidavit. Let's talk about that for a second. If you're seeing your payments switch to disqualified when you log onto your UI Online account, or if you get a letter from the EDD that says that what you sent in did not meet the requirements, the very first step that I want you guys to do is to call the EDD. I hate saying that, I really do. Um, you're gonna call the EDD, and I want you guys to ask them to speak to a tier 2 representative, and from there, I want you guys to sorry, copying the links here. I want you guys to ask for a tier 2 representative and tell them that you think that what you submitted is what they listed as part of the acceptable documents, and can they please look at it? Oftentimes, they can fix it right there on the phone. Also, Bonnie, um, you should have your book by now. So I hope that that has reached you. And of course, we will still giving out 2 free stocks, and I have that linked in the description down below. And of course, if none of those things work, you guys can reach out to your assembly member for help with everything except for getting your 2 free stocks with Weeble. Okay. Did I mention Jenny Silver's book, which is available on Amazon? And Bonnie, you should have that by now. Okay, I just dropped all the links that I believe you guys are going to need. Did I? And now they are pinned at the top. So Andy, why are you thinking you're going to owe? Are you talking about for taxes? Most people, thank you, Jenny. I don't have my sign lit up. I should get that going. You guys, I got a sign. I think it lights me weird. I don't know if I love it. And it seems kind of like a little bit narcissistic. So I'm not sure. Do we like the sign? Do we not like the sign? Is it silly? I don't know. Whatever. wanted to add some interest to the background. Also, is this poster distracting you guys? Do you like the plant? You guys let me know. Okay, back to your questions. I am ready. No, Jenny, because I don't think it's going to be a week off work. I'm anticipating that you're going to work my tail off. You guys, Jenny Silver's name, her full YouTube name is Jenny Silver, business coach for creatives. So I have hired her to be my business coach. We're going to be spending the next week together. I hope we get along in person. I think we will. We've spoke many times throughout all of this. But we're going to be spending a lot of time together this next week. I think we're going to be busy, busy, busy. So we're going to be spending almost the whole week together. And again, this Wednesday we'll be going live together from the same spot, live and in person, to answer your unemployment questions, maybe a few tax questions, though we're not tax professionals, about that child tax care credit, any stimulus questions you have, from one place, like not remotely, not where we're on Zoom together with you guys, but from the same spot. You probably won't recognize the background from either of our streams because we're gonna rent out an Airbnb, and it should be fun though. A lot of hard work, but fun. Okay, let's see here. Ski Mask Citizen says, when unemployment runs out, is there going to be an extension or is that it this time? That's going to be it. Whenever your claim balance hits zero, then you're done with unemployment. Annie, I'm not going to believe it. You used my video to help 5 people make an affidavit, and all of them are approved. Your sister and you were the first ones to get approved, and this week, 5 more. That was the whole point of the video. I know that a lot of people were really struggling, and the place that was supposed to hire you closed, or for whatever reason, you weren't able to get the documents ready. And I really wanted that video to help you guys. And like seriously, I cannot tell you enough how genuinely happy that makes me that you used my video to write the affidavit and that now you're approved and we can move on with the worry of providing PUA proof of employment, and now we can move on to taxes. Okay. But thank you, Annie. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm glad that that worked for everyone. So guys, please share that video. If I was smart, I'd have that link handy, but I don't right at the moment. But yeah, don't be afraid. Get those documents in also, because in the last EDD news release, they said that they sent notices to 1.4 million people, not mailed notices in your UI Online accounts, and only about 1 in 5 people have submitted documents back. That means that more than 1 million people still need to submit their PUA proof of employment. Now, they are going to be sending out follow-up letters to the people who have not, my glasses are crooked, that have not responded yet. Okay. Ski Mask Citizen said mine ended, then somehow you got it reactivated and now you have 2K left on it. So keep in mind though that once your benefit year ends, you won't be able to draw down that balance. I'm glad you've got more money. I'm not entirely sure why, but maybe you got the DNCP notice, the deferred new claim payment, delayed new claim payment. I always mess up the D word, but anyway, I'm glad that you continued getting money, but once your benefit year ends, you won't have access to that balance anymore. Or if you were on an extension or PUA, those of course expired back in September, or once your claim balance reaches zero. But once it reaches zero this time, for sure, you won't have access to any more, but enjoy it while you're getting it. Okay, Marcos says, how long does it take EDD to respond after submitting your documents? A really long time. So Jenny Silver, you guys know I'm kind of using her as a gauge because she sent in her documents right away. And she still hasn't heard if her documents were approved or not. And she sent in her taxes, which, everybody's saying is kind of the preferred method to send to them because that for sure proves it to them. And she still hasn't heard. So until she hears, I'm not going to worry at all about it. They're really behind. I have kind of started to hear that they're faster with denying claims and letting people know that that the documents weren't acceptable versus informing the people um, whose documents were accepted that they were okay. In that EDD news release, though, it did say that 90% of the people who had submitted documents, their documents were accepted. And of those people, it doesn't say this, but of those people, many, many people, if they're seeing the disqualified on their payment history on UI Online, when they call, it's able to be fixed that way. Um, so send in your document. You guys don't dilly-dally. Please, please tell your friends. Annie, like you deserve a gold star because you are making sure that your friends are taking care of what they need to. So I'm so proud of you because over 1 million people are putting this off. I don't want to scold anybody. I feel like I look a little like a teacher though today. So, and of course not to you guys because you guys are on top of it, but to the people that haven't sent it in, naughty, naughty, you guys need to get that in. Okay. Andy says, you've been working and you've been doing good. Going to get your son back in March. He will finally be able to stay the night, but is very attached to his mom. He's only 2, but he knows how to say dad. That's so awesome. And yeah, of course he's attached to his mom, but actually a lot of my friends that had kids, all right, I don't have kids, were around 2 to 3, and I know you have a son. My friends, I don't know why, but most of them have had girls. They really became daddy's girls, like, when they were, like, 2 to 3. So hopefully your son, really bonds with you once you're able to see him a little bit more and have him overnight, and I'm just so proud of how far you've come, Andy. Alright. Daniela says, "If you put from your UI extension and you worked a seasonal job, would I qualify for a new claim?" Oh, ran out of money from your UI claim. Possibly. First, your benefit year would need to be over. And I don't know when your benefit year ended, but your benefit year has to end in order for you to file a new claim. A lot of people, their benefit year doesn't end till March of this year. Then um, they're going to look at a base period or an alternate base period, and you would need to have made at least $1,300 in your highest earnings quarter. So it depends on if your seasonal work was in the base period or alternate base period that they're going to look at. If your benefit year has ended, my advice to you would be to apply and see if you qualify for a new claim. Okay. Oops. Michelle says, you contacted Harry with the EDD and his fee was $350 to research your affidavit status. You don't have that. Who's Harry? I don't know who Harry is, but $350, that does not sound right. Please do not send Harry any additional information. Most of this should be free. Now, I know even Jenny Silver, she's done videos with the attorney from, I think it's Pershing Law Firm, but they don't, it's my understanding that they don't charge you anything up front, but that if you won your case, that then they would take a portion of what you were awarded. So it shouldn't be costing $350 for anything. Please report Harry because it's that doesn't seem right to me. Okay, Daniela. Oops. Oh, we did Daniela's. And you guys, I got to change it from top chat to live chat. Okay, there we go. Michelle says you submitted an affidavit on 11/12 and no response. Still paid on UI Online. Yeah, and kind of Mel, I don't see her in here yet today, but no news is good news. So don't worry if you haven't received confirmation that your documents have been received yet. As long as that status still says paid, that's a very good sign. Okay. Scotty says, nice light. Looking forward to my live with Jenny. Yes, that should be really fun. Okay, Marcos says, how long does it take the EDD to respond after documents are submitted? A really long time. And again, Jenny Silver hasn't received hers, so I'm not too worried about it just yet. Ski Mask says, thank you for the clarification. You are welcome. Hi, Bella. You're welcome. You guys like the sign and the plant. All right. Okay. Go Rams. Is it game day? I used to pay more attention, and I haven't in a while. Bella says, what is the talk about submitting documents? You're a little behind. So good to see you, Bella. So what has happened is a lot of people that were getting PUA unemployment claims, and some people who thought that they were on regular unemployment claims the whole time. If you are on PUA, they're asking for proof of work or proof of employment or proof of self-employment. Um, it was it's like regulated. This is a federal requirement that they ask people who received PUA benefits that. How regular UI claimants ended up in this mess is during that time when the programming for the computers wasn't in place to put people on the PEUC extension, some reps thought they were being helpful and they didn't want people to have gaps in payments. So they temporarily put people on PUA claims. So people were getting paid, they were happy. And now they're having to submit proof of work, proof of employment, proof of self-employment to the people who were had regular W-2 jobs. You're just going to send like your taxes or a pay stub or something and say, hey, the rep just put me on a PUA claim. I didn't even realize that's what they were doing, and that should be more than sufficient. The other people who were getting PUA claims, the people who were truly self-employed or had job offers and then they weren't able to begin work, some of them are struggling a little bit because some of those jobs are permanently closed. So they would prefer like an affidavit from the employer, like your potential employer said, yes, I was going to offer Bella a job. It was supposed to start March 30th, but our whole industry shut down on March 15th. So, and maybe those businesses never reopened. So those people are having trouble figuring out what they need to submit to the EDD. If you had a regular UI claim, hopefully they didn't put you on PUA, causing you to need to submit those documents, but that's the documents we're talking about. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Hiding some spam. Uh-oh, hopefully I hid the right thing. Okay, NC says, I don't know if I hid the right thing. NC says, is it just as slow at my movie theater? We are the busiest theater in OC, yet I'm only getting 8 hours a week. It is very slow at our movie theater. So I'm going to guess you're at the Irvine Spectrum. Let me know if that's correct. That's a beautiful theater. What is the foot traffic at that like whole complex like? I'm curious about that. We have a lot of employees this week that need hours. We actually just dropped in the theater industry, we call it the late set. So Monday through Thursday, we don't have 9 o'clock movies this week. It'll pick up. There's a new Marvel movie coming out, I think, in March. But yeah, it's very slow this week. And last week and the week before that. Business has not returned to what it was before the pandemic. And it's really, really tricky. Okay. And I'm sorry. Something NC that I want to suggest to you. Tell your boss, tell all your bosses, all your supervisors, email your theater if you can, and just say, hey, I'm really hoping to get more hours. If anybody calls out sick or you do end up getting busy, please try calling me. I would like to pick up shifts because a lot of times, like if somebody calls out and we do need to replace them and we're just going down the list, right, in order of seniority for who isn't there. But sometimes if we know that there's somebody that wants to pick up shifts, we're going to go ahead and just call them because, we don't want to, got limited time, limited resources. So we go straight to the person that we know wants the hours. So definitely communicate, not just with one boss, but make sure they all know. And then like low key, your boss is going to love you if you're like, hey, I'd really like to pick up some shifts, because then you're going to look like, that you're willing and ready to help. And like, we love that. Like, I can't think of any boss that wouldn't love that. So that's my recommendation there. And I hope you start getting more hours. Daniel says, can I please say hi to Donna Valerie Partee. Oh, hi, Donna. Hi, Donna Valerie Partee. How adorable are you? Hopefully I'm not too boring. You should get her a copy of Jenny Silver's children's book on, but if you can't, should be in the library soon because I'm going to donate one. You know what? I shouldn't have said that. But Jenny Silver has a very good children's book coming out, and I hope that you're able to get your hands on a copy. Maybe DM me on Instagram after this. Okay, and there will be a copy at the library. And you guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to drop this off at my local library. So I know for sure that there's going to be one copy at the library. You can request any book and have it shipped to like your local library. And it's actually, so you don't have to drive to the library where the book's out. You can like request that that book be delivered by mail to your local library. And that's actually good. It helps the libraries because it says, oh, this library branch is having more traffic. So this library branch needs more funding. So it actually helps kind of like the system, the government, determine like which libraries need a little bit more funding. So probably not this week. By next week, that book should be at the library. And yeah, and then it's good. Just order it have it delivered to your local library and check it out for free. Okay, NC says Spider-Man was crazy. Yeah, and that's what's tricky for employers. And I think every industry is going through this. It gets really, really busy and then really, really slow. And it's hard to keep good people because, 1 week you're giving someone 40 hours and the next 8. 8 is really low, though. Talk to them and see if you can pick up shifts when someone calls out sick. PJ says at 12, the Rams are playing. Who are they playing against? I literally don't know. Okay, Bella, you see this applies to those that were on PUA only. How can I tell if I was or wasn't placed on the PUA group? Makes sense? Yes, your question makes sense. So you're just going to log onto your UI online account, and right there on the very front homepage, it should say actions required, and then go through your messages and see if they're requesting that you submit documents. Okay, let's go 49. Oh, are they playing the 49ers? Interesting. Okay, NC, Irvine Spectrum. The mall is always busy, yet the theater feels super dead. It's tricky right now. It's tricky. But that's an AMC, right? Like they're doing well as a whole. I think their CEO is really making some smart decisions. And yeah, there's been some articles that say maybe the future of movies is only the big blockbusters, the big Marvel movies will be the only ones that really, really draw in crowds. Movie theaters have a big challenge ahead of them to stay profitable and relevant. Andy, you're welcome. NC, thanks for the advice. You'll let your management team know that you're open to more hours. Yeah, specifically tell them hey, if anybody calls out sick, please call me. I'm wanting to come in. And that doesn't even mean that you have to take the shift every time that they call you. But it just, it lets them know hey, I don't have to waste my time calling the 15 people ahead of you. Let me just go straight to you. And that's good advice, not just at movie theaters. Anytime you want more hours, let your boss know that you're wanting them, and to please try you first. Okay. Pee-wee says, I'm still gathering all my paperwork to get my taxes done for 2019. I did not apply for a business license in 2019, although I started my business then. I was testing the waters, didn't know the rules. For this reason, I'm panicked. Don't panic. A lot of people don't know the rules. I'm figuring out how to renew my business tax license here in the city of Los Angeles. They kind of know that people, especially new business owners, don't quite have it all together yet. That's okay. Do you have a business plan? That is something that the EDD was going to accept as proof of self-employment. So you're going to submit your business plan and maybe a short paragraph about why you're sending them the business plan. You can do an affidavit. If you have other things that you could submit to the EDD, that further prove you were going to start a business, that can be helpful. I don't know why, but I use the example of, let's say you were going to start a balloon making service for birthday parties, and you have receipts from the $1.25 tree, and you can submit those. You can say, hey, I bought all these balloons because I was planning on making like balloon bouquets, or I was going to whatever your business was. If you purchased anything for it, if you have invoices, any emails from potential clients where maybe you were making a cake, or stick with the balloon making, where they were like, hey, how much would this cost to make balloon letters that say Andy? Anything that you can give them like that, like an email dated from the time period that they're asking for it, would further like solidify your business plan. You can submit that as well. But again, I would kind of include, if you're not going to do the full affidavit, which is really just 6 easy steps, and I've got a video on that. Just search Shelly's Millions affidavit. I would send a short paragraph that says, as proof of plans to become self-employed, I am including a business plan on page 2. I am including email correspondence with potential clients dated whatever the date range that they gave you is, as well as some receipts also purchased or dated within the date range that you're requesting. If you went to the $1.25 tree, it might be unlikely that you would have those receipts still from like 2019. But if you purchased anything on Amazon, Amazon holds like your entire shopping history to the dawn of time, it seems. So Amazon, you can go back really, really far. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Love face. I think I'm gonna love all the emojis, but I think simmer down there. Otherwise, we're gonna have to like put you on a timeout. I think you must be a regular on Jenny Silver's streams. I think you're very excited that we're going to be collaborating and streaming live together this Wednesday at 9 p.m. She already has the link up, I think. So make sure to like set your reminder, set the notification bell for both our channels, actually, but especially for that video. Okay. Bella, congratulations, Jenny, on your book. You used to collect autographed children's books for your daughters, and now you do it for granddaughters. At some point, I'd like to place an order. Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably like a signed copy, right? So yeah, we got to figure out how to do that. And I'm looking forward to the video. I'm curious how much that made. I know that for a little while you were climbing up the ranks on Amazon for your genre of children's book. And yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. She didn't illustrate it. It was illustrated by Finchenko Maria, but it's so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. Okay, and it's available on Amazon. I do have that link in my video description already. Okay, are there any tax breaks like last year, or we're paying taxes if we didn't claim anything? I'm hesitant to say that anybody's paying taxes, right? Um, I've actually seen a lot of people who still get a refund if all you collected all year was unemployment benefits. They're getting a refund because after like all the deductions, maybe what you paid was still too much. So there aren't breaks. There's not any tax forgiveness. Last year we had the for many people it was an unemployment refund, but depending on when you filed your taxes, it may have already been in the coding, and they forgave the first $10,200 of unemployment benefits that we received. They're not talking about doing that this year. So there's not any tax forgiveness or tax breaks on our unemployment benefits this year, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to owe. And the reason why, no, I don't know. basically there's a standard deduction, right? Let's go with Andy's case. Andy said that he made $24,000 from unemployment benefits. If you're single, I know more about single taxes, and I'm no tax professional, but I know more about single taxes because I'm single and I don't have any dependents. I believe that the standard deduction is $12,000. So Andy got $24,000. But right away, they're not going to count that first $12,000. So really, his AGI, his adjusted gross income, is only going to be $12,000. So on 0 to 9,999, you only pay 10%. So 10% of 10,000, what is that? I feel like I should know this right away. That would equal $1,000? That seems high. But he would owe $1,000. Now on 24,000, but the EDD withheld taxes if you checked the box. Now they didn't out of the extra $300 boost. But depending on other things in Andy's situation, and Andy may be able to claim a dependent, I'm not sure. But depending on other things in Andy's situation, he might not end up owing anything. So it really, really just depends. And I don't want to scare anybody with that. My advice to you is now you do need to include it, right? I don't want anybody to go on TurboTax and H&R Block, plug in their 1099G, see that they owe and think, oh no, I'm not going to include that, because there's a very strong warning on the page that basically says, like, don't do that, right? Once you, and guys, I have a video because a lot of people couldn't find their 1099G once they logged on to their UI Online homepage. So you're going to go to the payments section. And if you're having trouble find it, search Shelly's Millions 1099G up in the YouTube search bar, and I walk you through exactly where to find that information. But your 1099Gs should be available now online, but definitely include it. You guys can make a payment plan to the IRS if you do end up owing. So try not to worry about that, but make sure to include that. Okay. PJ says Rams and Buccaneers. Okay. Fun Kids Tube says, thank you for the work. So you're required to show proof. So Schedule C will work, or the entire tax form. People are doing both. Really, the Schedule C should be sufficient. Even if you're sending the Schedule C, I tend to think that it would be good to include a short paragraph about what you're sending them and why, and make sure that it's for the time frame that they're asking for. If it's not, also explain why you're sending them something outside of the time frame that they asked for, when they notified you that you needed to upload documents. So, for example, I would say, as proof of self-employment, to prove my eligibility to receive PUA unemployment benefits, I am including my Schedule C, I started to say T, Schedule C from 2019, right? Like, spell it out for them. Just so that they know. Like, don't just send your Schedule C with no explanation. I don't know. I just like to really make it clear for them, because they seem to be sometimes denying people where it really should be clear that they qualify. And I don't know why that is, so let's just try and spell it out for them. Keep it really short though. My name is Fun Kids Tube. You asked me for documents. This is what I'm including that should prove my eligibility for PUA on the next page. Okay. Uh, Pee-wee, I helped you be better prepared. You see a tax person tomorrow, but I don't want to turn in expenses. I would then be below the $2,000 net. Why would it be bad? Now, see, here's where I'm not a tax professional. Um, why would it be bad to be below the $2,000 net? I'm not familiar with that. So ask your tax professional. Um, one of the common questions that people are asking is, like, they're saying, "Hey, I don't want to submit these documents to the EDD because I actually operated at a loss or I didn't make any money. That is completely normal. And guys, this year for me, one of the things Jenny Silver is helping me do is set up a website. But as the interest in unemployment videos has declined, the channel's not making that much. So it's possible that this year, because I am investing long term in my business, it's possible that I hope not, because we're still in January. So I'm going to try and make it profitable. But it's possible that it won't be. You guys also know that sometimes I'm working like 15-hour days at my regular job. So doing this is challenging. I'm going to rise to that challenge. But it gets tricky, right? And you never know if you're going to have a profitable year or if you're going to have an unprofitable year. Life is so crazy. Like who would have thought that that we'd be dealing with anything that we're dealing with right now. So it's normal for businesses to operate at a loss. Now, I'm not sure if that $2,000 net that you're referring to qualifies you for something else, some other tax benefit, but in terms of the EDD, it's fine if you report even that your business operated at a loss. I don't know about that in terms of other tax benefits, so definitely talk to your tax preparer about that, and then they can advise you properly on that. Miss Mommy, does Claimer still work? It absolutely does. Not only does Claimer still work, and I do have my $5 discount code pinned as the top comment and linked in the description down below. Claimer, I think they're really smart. They've actually expanded their business model. So they will help you call the IRS, like if you have questions about your child care tax credit. If you have questions about that, they'll dial the IRS for you because they're equally as hard to get through to as the EDD. They've branched out and they will call like if you need disability insurance through the EDD, it's the same EDD office. They'll call the EDD line they'll call the SDI line for you for disability questions. And they call the FTB, the Franchise Tax Board, if you have questions about your Golden State stimulus. Now, the $5 discount code only applies once, no matter which section you're calling. But yeah, if you guys didn't use Claimer in the past, basically whatever trouble you're having with any government office, they can pretty much help with. They're not helping with housing is key yet. And of course, the assembly members still continue to help people with all of those things. And I don't see KAFLA TV in here today, but guys, they're doing COVID shots, COVID boosters tomorrow. So I'll try and get you guys that information. I'll message him and then I'll do that as a community post. Okay. Oh, Miss Mommy, you got a potential overpayment notice, but you have not gotten to talk to someone from the EDD. So again, with the potential overpayment notice, why are they saying they potentially overpaid you? Is that because they're saying the documents you submitted were not acceptable? If that's the case, I definitely would call and speak to a tier 2 representative. If it's for some other reason, definitely file the appeal and any other documents that you have that would support your case when you file the appeal. After you file the appeal, like if they don't, so appeals and an overpayment waiver are two different things. So the appeal says, nope, I don't agree with you that I owe this money at all. And a judge will hear your case. They're running really far behind with that. Now, sorry, bumped my microphone. If the judge says, nope, you still owe this money after the appeal, that's when you would want to apply for the overpayment waiver. And then to be granted the overpayment waiver, it would need to be through no fault of your own that you received the benefits, and it would need to create a financial hardship in order for you to repay the benefits back. The income threshold for the EDD to allow you not to pay the benefits back is fairly low. And I'm going to plug for this one, I want you guys to search Jenny Silver attorney or Jenny Silver Pershing because Jenny Silver has worked with an attorney and he does unemployment law. And so if you're having problems with your claim, he offers a free consultation and she has links to him in her videos. And so that's going to be a really great resource for you. I would recommend reaching out to him, not to Harry. I don't know who Harry is. Don't don't send money to anybody for that. It's a free consultation with the attorney from Pershing Square Law Firm, and he does unemployment like cases. Okay. Dexter, if you got a new account and your balance is 0, what to do? So once your balance reaches 0, that's kind of it. Um, you could apply again once your benefit year is over if you've had some attachment to the workforce again. PJ, if people got back pay for 2020, didn't file till January of 2021, would they still qualify for the 10,005 it's 200 10,200 forgiveness? Okay, let me read that again. If people got back pay for 2020 and didn't file until 2021, would they still qualify? I'm not sure about that. So, I would definitely uh, ask your tax preparer, or like if you're not planning on going to see someone in person, there's going to be like a little chat box on H&R Block or TurboTax. I would ask them. I'm not sure on that. I hope so, but I don't know. Okay. Dexter, you did your claim like a week ago. Have you found out if you're approved for the claim or not? Did you have attachment to the workforce? Maybe have you got your benefit award letter yet? If you got your benefit award letter and that says $0, then that means that you didn't really qualify for the new claim. Sarah, hello. You were receiving EDD for 13 weeks, but it expired. What do I think is next? Is it going to be extended 14 more weeks? What is the latest? No. So sometimes it sounds like maybe either you got the DNCP notice and you were on the delayed new claim payment program, or it's possible. So generally unemployment benefits last for 26 weeks, but there are some cases where you won't have enough to last 26 weeks, enough earnings history. And so there are cases where they only award you a total of 13 weeks of benefits. And once that claim balance reaches 0, you can't file a new claim until your benefit year has ended. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. This seems like a great place to ask you guys to please take a moment and like the video. Dundee 12 says, you had an EDD claim that ended September 11th. You reapplied, got awarded based on the previous 18 months. However, I didn't earn any W-2 wages during my previous claim. End of the road for me. Possibly. In some cases, right? I haven't mentioned this in a really long time. I have seen some claims get approved with no new wages where they really shouldn't have been. Some of my employees, as a matter of fact, for whatever reason, some of my employees were asked to file new claims in March. And even though they hadn't worked at all, they were approved for those new claims. So it's possible you'd squeak through, but if you did, it would be some sort of error on the EDD's part. And definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if that new claim is not approved since you haven't had any W-2 wages since you filed your original claim. It's supposed to be the end of the road for you, but you applied, so now you'll have to wait and see what they say. But yeah, it is supposed to be the end of the road. PUA, I heard that if you were below what you claimed as your net, then you reported more than you actually made and would not qualify for PUA. Okay, so that is actually a really good point. So basically, it what was your weekly benefit amount, Pee-wee? I'm really curious about that. So what you're saying, I get what you're saying now. I understand with the EDD. So basically, you told them, "Hey, I made $2,000 net," so that you could receive a higher weekly benefit amount, and because of that, that's why you're worried about making less than you told them you made. that could be an issue. That could result in an overpayment if that was the case. Remember though, $167 was the minimum PUA unemployment amount. So if they hit you with an overpayment notice, it would just be the difference between 167, the weekly benefit amount, and whatever you were actually receiving. So like if you were receiving $200, that would only be like an overpayment of $33 a week. But yeah, that could be a little bit of an issue if you fibbed a little bit on how much you actually made. My advice would be to just be honest and kind of let the chips fall where they may. If you do have to do an overpayment with the EDD, even if it was an error, they do arrange payments with you, so it's not like you would have to pay everything back at once. But yes, you are correct on that. Okay, Killaman says, "You received 3 phone calls from the EDD saying you got denied because of proof of residency, but you've already been paid. Then they told me to send it to my state representative. What should I do?" So you definitely wanna contact your assembly member because it sounds like things kind of got a little complicated with your claim. When they issue you the money, maybe you got a conditional payment, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're not able to kind of check all the boxes, they can come back and say, "Hey, you weren't eligible," and hit you with an overpayment notice. But it sounds like they are recommending that you contact your assembly member, and I believe that I have that linked. Um, in the top comment up above. I have that as pinned as the comment at the top of chat. It's the very last link, the find your representative. You'll definitely want to do that. Okay. Oops. Oh, hi, Debbie. Okay, so Debbie, Jenny's feeling better and has now tested negative. So we are meeting on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a little bit of Friday. And she's helping me put together my business plan, helping me. I don't want to say helping. She's building a website for me. She's doing it all. She's doing kind of the stuff that I don't want to, which is but, and offering coaching and kind of some insight. And we're going to be streaming live together in person, not over Zoom or anything, from the same room, live and in person, coming straight to you this Wednesday at 9 p.m. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so Miss Mommy, they said you were disqualified. So you do want to call and speak to a tier 2 rep and say, "Hey, can you please look at this again? I think that the documents that I sent you were on the list of acceptable documents." And hopefully they can switch that for you right on the phone. Hi, Miri. PJ, you're welcome. And Pee Wee says, "My weekly payment was 167 plus the Fed payments." Okay, so Pee Wee, you don't need to worry because 167 was the minimum that you could receive. So it doesn't matter if your business was a loss, you didn't report enough so even if your business wasn't profitable, the difference between 0 and 2,000, it shouldn't. I never want to say it won't because it's the EDD and sometimes things that shouldn't cause issues do. But 167 was the bare minimum that someone could receive as a weekly benefit amount from the PUA program here in the state of California. So, as long as your documents are accepted, that's going to be fine, or should be fine. And they should not hit you with an overpayment notice because 167 was the minimum. So they didn't pay you anything above that. So it kind of doesn't really matter. Your business made money, your business didn't make money, because that was the minimum, right? So even if someone made $0, even if someone reported a loss um, from their self-employment, that person would still be eligible for $167 a week. Miri, you qualified for the stimulus checks, but you never received them, and you did not do your 2020 taxes. Do you think you will receive them this year? So I hate to say this, but you're gonna have to ask a tax professional, a tax preparer, or you could call the IRS. You could use Claimer to call the IRS. The reason why I don't know is so the stimulus checks, not the Golden State stimulus checks, but the other stimulus checks. Those were for the tax year of 2020 that we filed our taxes at the beginning of 2021. When you filed your 2020 taxes, it's possible, but you would still need to go back and file the 2020 taxes. And I don't know how the credits work. So basically how it was supposed to work is if you didn't get your stimulus checks in the year 2020, when you filed your 2020 taxes in 2021, then they were supposed to issue you the stimulus checks. But this year, when you do your taxes, it's going to be for the tax year 2021, and they didn't send us those. So I'm not sure how they'll handle that. But my guess is that if you're looking for money received in 2020 or that should have been received in 2020, that at minimum you would need to go back and file the 2020 taxes. And guys, I do encourage you, hang on, baby love, I will get to you. So, I really encourage everyone to go ahead and file your taxes. Don't be scared to file your taxes. There's a lot of free filing tax software. Even bigger companies like H&R Block and TurboTax, if you're just filing a 1040 EZ, which is what a lot of us need to file, oftentimes that is offered at completely no cost, completely for free. And the reason why I would encourage you to do it is, one, you don't want to miss out on any refunds. Two, it's important to file your taxes because as we get older, when we get our social security checks, right? They average your top 35 years of wage history. You guys don't want any years in those 35 years, you don't want any zeros, right? So you want to try and file something, right? And then the third reason is that a lot of times, like if there are something like stimulus checks, like the Golden State stimulus, you needed to have filed your taxes in order to get that. Now, I will say that if you're talking about getting the Golden State stimulus when you file your taxes this year, if you're talking about the Golden State stimulus and not the other stimulus programs, I don't believe you would get that because the tax filing deadline to be eligible for the Golden State stimulus, they extended it a bunch of times, but October 15th of 2021 was the last date to submit your tax returns for 2020 in order to get the Golden State stimulus back. Okay, baby love. Yeah, so okay. Let me do Miri's real quick because I am excited about that. I know that we feel mixed feelings about Claimer. I do too. Yeah, they're calling the IRS now. They're calling the EDD, but the state disability insurance line, and they're calling the franchise tax board. It's not clear how to get there. So let me actually show you guys this really quick, and then baby love, I promise you're next. So when you go onto Claimer, this is how it looks now. And you see right at the top, they've got the IRS, they've got the California EDD. Then right underneath that, it's kind of little, but it says, I don't know if you can see, that one says state disability. And then they've even got the Spanish line. And then we get into and then what else do we have for California? Oh, they've got the California paid family leave line. I wonder why the franchise tax board isn't there next. Anyway, so like whatever you need, and they're in lots of states now. So whatever you need, when you go on, you're going to pick which one of these you need. So make sure that if you're calling for something, the IRS is just the IRS. It's the same for everybody. But like if you need state disability or paid family leave, you want to make sure that you're checking the right thing. Of course, if you mess it up, you can click after you log in or sign up. How am I not logged in? Anyway, now down here it's at support. So if you choose the wrong line, you're just gonna email support and they'll like apply your fee to the right line. They have really good customer service. And even though I don't love paying to get through to these agencies that we really should be able to call for free, I think they're really smart and I think the service was needed. And I don't blame the claimer guys. I blame our dysfunctional government on not being able to handle our call volume to begin with. That's who I blame. Anyway, baby love. How do I prove and upload my documents? So first you're going to want to log onto your UI Online homepage and see if they're even requesting documents from you. If it would say action required when you log in. If it says action required after you log in, what you're going to do is what they really want is tax returns. If you have those, that's going to be your best bet from the time period they're asking for. But a lot of people don't have taxes. They never filed them because their businesses weren't profitable. They didn't realize that they needed to report taxes on over $400 in net profit. Maybe the business that they applied for is closed. All sorts of reasons, right? That they don't have a tax return. So what there's a lot of other documents that you could send. A business plan, but what a lot of people are sending is something called an affidavit. I have a video that literally walks you through it step by step. Just search Shelly's Millions affidavit, but I will run you down what you need to do really quick, those 6 steps right here. Step 1 is like you want to state what the affidavit is for. So you would say affidavit of proof of PUA unemployment benefits, affidavit of baby love. So affidavit, proof of employment, affidavit, baby love, your name. Next thing you're going to do is establish your identity, essentially. So step 2 is saying something like, it's called crafting a statement of identity. I, baby love, am a 30-year-old female who resides in Inglewood, California. And I reside at, and then put your address. That establishes that you live in the state of California. So that's why you need the statement of identity. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to craft a statement of truth. This is step 3. So you're going to say, I, baby love, swear that this statement is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Basically, you're saying, on my honor, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right? But don't say that. Say, I, baby love, swear that the information I am about to share is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. Step 4, that's where you're going to state the facts. You don't need to say, I was going to wash cars at my brother's, cousin's, uncle's, mom's car washing facility. Don't say all that. Say, I had an offer to begin washing cars at the Earth Saying car wash. I looked at Jenny Silver's book, so that's where I got that from. Anyway, I was going to work at this car wash, the name of the car wash. That car wash is now permanently closed, and so I am unable to get proof of that I was going to begin work with them. But this is my statement telling you that I was supposed to start at the Earth Saying car wash on March 20th, but the car wash closed down permanently due to the pandemic. I would work in the phrase due to the pandemic, but the Earth Saying car wash closed down permanently on March 15th due to the pandemic, and I was unable to begin my job there. So that's step 4. The statement of facts, just the facts. Don't clutter it. Like, I know a lot of people are going to start with family. EDD does not know that, or a friend. They don't need to know that. Tell them the name of the business, why you're not able to get the affidavit from the business, and just the date that you were going to start. If you have any emails from the business, like let's say it's not your brother's, cousin's, sister's, uncle's, best friend's business, right? If you have like any emails, like if you had an email from the Earth Saying car wash saying that you were going to start on March 20th, I would include that. And I would include as long as it's from the dates that the EDD is asking for. And the reason why is like anything that you can submit beyond the affidavit is going to further solidify your eligibility. So if you have an email with an offer letter, I would include that. If you were going to be self-employed, you would say, I was going to start the earth saying car wash, but I was unable to do so because I lost my regular job and I wasn't able to pay for the spot where I was going to wash cars anymore. Something like that. If you had any receipts or any correspondence from an office manager from where you were going to lease the car washing space from, I would include that. So just the facts, keep it simple. But if you have supporting documentation, things that you started to purchase for the business, receipts, invoices, emails with potential clients, I would include not all of them, maybe one example of a receipt, one example of an invoice, one example of an email. I would include that in the facts section. I would say I'm including an email with a potential client. I am including these invoices for supplies that I had started to purchase for my business, right? I would say that, but very briefly and factually, because keep in mind it's the EDD and they seem to get confused pretty easily. So you want to like spell it out for them, right? Then, so that's step 5, the facts. Step 6 is, oh no, sorry. That was still step 4. Step 5 is you state your statement of truth again. So that again, you say, once again, I, baby love, swear that this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But you're going to say, don't say it like that. And then step 6 is sign it. So you're just going to sign it, sincerely, baby love. And that's it. And then you're going to upload it right there from your UI Online page. You'll just upload it like that. Sorry that took so long. Okay. And in my affidavit video, I go through the example of what to say exactly if the reason that you weren't working is due to lack of childcare. I walk you right through it. So definitely search Shelly's Millions affidavit after this, and like it'll be a little bit more clear than me rambling right there. Okay. I hope that was helpful. Okay. Sean Mike TV. Hey, much love. I was wondering, I never got my Golden State stimulus. Can I claim it in my taxes? They never said that that was going to be the way that they were going to do it, but keep in mind that they did say to allow up to 3 weeks after January 11th for it to arrive. So that would actually be February 1st. So the last mailing date was January 11th for the Golden State stimulus. They said to allow 3 weeks after that to get it. That would put us at February 1st. And then I actually probably would use Claimer to find out about that. You're going to find the franchise tax board from the Claimer drop-down menu and call that way. I also, though, don't waste your money on the call. If the only money you received all year was from unemployment benefits, then you would not qualify for the Golden State stimulus. Okay. Debbie, movie report. We're slow. You hopped in late. Me and somebody that worked at the Irvine Spectrum in Orange County, we were talking about how slow it is. Why is there fairgrounds? I wish we're getting, oh my goodness. I wish Kenneth was in here. We are getting licorice pizza. We'll be showing it in 70 millimeter, and we're going to have a pinball machine. But apparently people can't actually play the pinball machine, so that doesn't seem as fun as it should be. But pinball machine, licorice pizza, February 4th at my location. We've been very slow. Okay. Okay. Sean, so random. Would I do the movie reviews since I work at the movie theater? I do. So I am not the best person to do them. Oh, we opened this movie called The King's Daughter, and it's about mermaids. And guys, I have like a giant mermaid tattoo. I know you're gonna ask to see it, but we're not because I'm trying to be professional. But anyway, I have a giant mermaid tattoo. I love mermaids. The King's Daughter is about mermaids, so I'm probably gonna see that. I do work at a movie theater, but like that's my review. Ooh, it's got mermaids, so I'll watch it. That is not necessarily a good review. You guys don't want movie reviews from me. If you did, they'd be comical. I'd be like, "Ooh, it's pretty. It has a mermaid." Or, "Ooh, we're gonna show licorice pizza and we're getting a pinball machine." Like that's the extent of my reviews. Although I suppose I could, maybe people would think that was funny. My company probably would be like, "Shelly, how do you not know more about the movies?" And I'd be like, "Well, because instead of studying about the movies, I'm learning how to do YouTube better and buying neon signs." Like, I don't know. They would, Debbie, here's for you because we can't have a live without getting out the green guy. The company would be sad about me not knowing more about the movies. I know how to pull up the reviews on my phone if a guest asks me about it. Um, I'm not terrible employee, but I should know more about these movies. My boss, he's the movie buff. All right. Um, I'm going to take a couple more questions and then I'm going to head out for the day. Okay, Laura says, "Will the taxes be forgiven for 2021?" They are not talking about forgiving any portion of the unemployment benefits for tax purposes this year, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to owe. It's really going to depend on your own situation. Definitely, we need to report that information that's included on the 1099-G when we file taxes. I do recommend filing your taxes even if you haven't met the threshold for filing. Keep in mind, with self-employment income, that's just $400. If you made more than $400 net from self-employment, you need to do your taxes. And if you're below the threshold for otherwise filing your taxes, I would still fill them out because of programs like the Golden State Stimulus. And they have said that like maybe that they're anticipating that there's going to be a surplus amount of money in California's budget this year, which they would have the option of doing like another Golden State Stimulus, like a fresh one for the that they would give us this year because of the surplus in the budget from 2021. No guarantees yet, and a lot of people say that's not gonna happen, but if it did, they would probably do it how they did it this last time, which would probably mean that you would need to have filed a tax return in order to qualify for that Golden State stimulus. So please, make sure to do your taxes, send that in, don't have zeros. It would make me and Baby Yoda happy. Yeah. Hi, little Rambo. Yep, little green guy. I don't know. I haven't now I'm questioning if I need to bring him. Can I wear him as a hat while I'm driving? I don't know. Because here's the thing, right? You guys know Jenny Silver is also a wedding photographer. And so part of what she's going to do as being the business coach for creatives that she is she's going to help me take some like actual professional photos. Now, I think I've gotten pretty good with my YouTube thumbnails, but like she's like a professional, right? Like even in this, like I have more lighting on this side of my face than this side, and I don't think it's because of the sign. But if I get too close to the sign, I get pink on my glasses. Like she knows how to do all that. Like she knows how to make sure there's not pink. She knows how to light me so that there's not glare in my glasses. And my point in saying that is I am bringing a whole bunch of clothes, like a whole bunch of clothes. I'm driving up because we're both in California. I'm in Los Angeles. She's in the Northern California area. So I'm just going to drive up, but I am driving up with like all these wardrobes. I got to bring my computer. I'm bringing like my camera because she's going to maybe show me how to use that if we have time. So I'm bringing a lot of stuff, so I don't think the green guy's coming. Be sad. He'll be by himself. And again, we're going to stream live, Jenny Silver and I, live and in person, coming at you at 9 p.m. this Wednesday to answer all your unemployment, Golden State stimulus, child tax care credit questions that you have. I can answer exclusion pay questions. I was like, "Ooh, I don't want to pay all this money in taxes," so I'm like going to say that that's a business expense. And I bought it from Etsy. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Is it I don't know. That might be too much. Anyway, you guys. Okay, Vaughn Green wants to know. This is going to be the last question. We're going to end it on this. What's the best number to call the EDD? None of them, because they're all really hard to get through. But here are my tips for calling the EDD for free. Just the general number that everybody has. I like to call. I got to make sure. Is it the 8? Do I call the 800? It's been a little while since it's in the video description. Hold on. it's been a little while since I've gone through this spiel, so I actually have to look it up. One time I accidentally gave the wrong number when I was trying to do it when I didn't actually know. Oh, shoot. Where are you? Okay. All right. All right. I was going to say 800 and I'm glad I checked because it's not. Okay. So the number that I call is 833-978-2511. They're still open from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day of the week. So I don't call Sunday because that's certification day. That's still a hard day to get through. I don't call Monday because it's the day after certification day. Still a hard day to get through. So I recommend calling Tuesday through Saturday, right when they open, about 8 a.m. to 8:30, or a little bit later in the afternoon, but not too late. So between like 2:30 and 4. You don't want to call any later than 4 because oftentimes it's going to take a tier 2 rep to fix your claim. And you need to allow the dialing time, the hold time to talk to the first rep, and the hold time to talk to the second rep. So, and then time to explain to the second rep what's going on and why you need their help. So, hold times can still be crazy, up to 4 hours still. But yeah, 833-978-2511 is going to be the number that I recommend to call. It is still hard to get through without using a dialing service like Claimer. So if you want to use Claimer, I do have the link in the description down below. I have it pinned as the top comment in the chat. That saves you $5 off your first call. Even with Claimer, they guarantee that you'll get through and get to speak to a rep, and they'll take care of the dialing process for you, but they don't take care of that potential 4-hour hold time for you. Uh-oh. Yes, mud rustling from Jenny Silver and I. Oh dear. All right. This seems like a good time to leave. Aw. Oh yeah, I shouldn't leave him. Where'd he just go? I won't leave him. If I bring him, I won't leave him. So, but I don't know if I'm bringing him because I'm bringing a lot of stuff. Okay. All right, you guys, take care. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Shelly's Millions. I will see you tomorrow. No, wait. I hadn't thought about this. I was maybe I'm not sure if I'm going live tomorrow at 9. I will try my best. We may have to reschedule that one, but definitely this Wednesday at 9 p.m. All right, you guys, with Jenny Silver, with both of us, 2 for 1 this Wednesday, 9 p.m. All right, Jenny's still in here and moderating. Love face XYZ, you're going to have to behave. I don't know if you can, but you got to do your best. All right. See you for sure Wednesday at 9 p.m. All right, guys. Do a double with Jenny. The thing is, so I have friends who live up near Jenny, and they had a baby like 3 years ago, and I haven't seen it because of quarantine. And also, I'm going, oh, yeah, you're working on my domain. You guys, pretty soon, don't check it out yet, but pretty soon it'll be shellysmillions.com. Uh-oh, he's a spammer. He's a naughty spammer. I thought that was maybe the regular you were telling me about right before I started this live. So I have a friend. I may drive up tomorrow. I had a friend who had a baby 3 years ago, and due to the pandemic, I haven't seen them. She's going to have another baby like any day now. So I'm not really sure if she's up for company or not. I'm trying to actually feel that out. Like I know she wants to see me because I'm going to be there, but I don't really know if she wants to see me. But I may be driving and I may be visiting my very pregnant friend, and I have no idea what their Wi-Fi is like. If their Wi-Fi is good and she's like sleeping and I drive up there tomorrow, then I will still go live at 9. I guess I need to figure this out. If not, for sure, this Wednesday in person with Jenny, it will be on her channel. So make sure to go check that out. She already has the link live. So hop over there, make sure you have that, the notification bell set reminder. Oh, is this the picture frame? Is this the picture? Jenny Silver was telling me that she didn't like this, that it's distracting because you guys only see but I like the background. I feel like if you guys get tired of like looking at my face or looking at the little green guy's face, that at least there's something going on in the background that you can kind of like zone out and look at. But maybe that needs to go. So keep the sign. She actually said the same thing. She said if I keep the sign, lose all of this. Not this. We can keep this because he only appears sometimes. But yeah, I was just trying to add some interest back there. This plant used to be in my room, snake plants. They're good for like clearing up the air. I guess. I don't know. So I used to have it like in my bedroom to keep the air clean while I sleep. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. So this seems like a good time to head out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you Wednesday at 9, maybe tomorrow night at 9. I will try tomorrow night at 9. You are not sick of the little green man. Now you're going to make him, he's going to be sad as we head on out. Poor green guy. Oh, what did he ever do to you, Debbie? All right, guys. See you soon.